Okay, Kevin Dye painting. The sun is up, so I can manage to get my butt over here this morning before we go back up to Dorrington. Yeah, I was watching this house during the build process, and this is a beautiful home. I work a lot right up behind you here, so I'm passing through here all the time. It just appears as if the stain, possibly what, a Super Deck product was used, and it just appears that it, yeah, a very, very light coat. So, with that said, I'll kind of explain what we do. Doors obviously do not need to be painted. It doesn't, the trim looks really good too. So with that said, you could probably save some money with that. What we do is we get here the first day, we take lights off the building, we mask any areas, we remove anything away from the building that we do not want to get stain on, stuff like these. Usually when we do these, we paint them brown to match into the house, so it's not a big gray situation here. So what you're getting is spot mold. It will have to be removed with a light bleach solution and pressure wash. When we pressure wash, we are very adamant about using a pressure washer that is just enough PSI to clean, but not enough PSI to leave marks in the wood. This is very, very important. Unfortunately, what we see a lot is people coming and they pressure wash the living heck out of stuff, and you see marks throughout the wood. This is unacceptable. So we do not do it. We use I have multiple pressure washers on our trucks, but I only use something like this, probably only in the 2800 PSI range. So yeah, just like some areas, the sun's already got a hold of it. We use Armstrong stain. It's made over in Sonora. It is an amazing oil-based stain, very strong, lasts very long. I've got houses I've done 5 years ago that still look brand new. The main thing too is we really put it on. You're looking at 2 or 3 coats. There's some handprints. We can probably sand some of that stuff off. Deck looks pretty good. Well, some of it. Railing took a beating. We sand the handrails just to get a clean edge. We like to sand the handrails, and we pressure wash this deck to get rid of all the black. Very nice deck though. It's a a nice build. It just seems that we often see that some really good carpenters, you know, build really nice homes, but sometimes they do the stain work themselves, or that's where they tend to save their money, I should say. So for us, gutter, we could probably paint that gutter in to match the building as well if you would like, since it's just galvanized metal. So again, we don't sand the bottom part here unless it's needed, and this is really not needed. It's expensive, but we do sand these, just a light sand to make it smooth. A full pressure wash is definitely important, and then just a heavy stain. We need to come in and hit it. We basically spray the stain and then back brush it and make sure that we push it into the wood. Yeah, so the railing, couple spots are black, but not a big deal. This deck will be easy to spray. So far what I see, from my opinion, is that we should just come through and stain everything that we see. Stuff like this is mask. I don't like stain on anything. I do not like stain on stuff. I only like stain on wood. So we should just basically come in, hit this place with as much stain as we can soak into the wood to give you that longevity, because it just looks really dry. All the paintwork looks good, unless of course you want to change the color. And if you do want to change the fascia trim color, we can do that, but right now it appears that it's in really good shape and it looks nice. The doors are the same way. They're in good shape and they look nice. Yeah, it's just dry. There's probably just a quick coat put on for the sake of probably just put on just for the sake of building, and out the door they went. It happens. Yeah, not a big deal. Just see, in here stayed pretty good, but there's no sun. But that will happen in the next 2 or 3 years. You'll start to see that dot mold up there, which is trouble. So again, all lights removed, all sockets removed. we just come through and stain away. This door actually looks really good too. You know, it's kind of dry, but I would probably just put a coat on it while I'm here. It's easy stuff. We do a lot of it. So that is what I see. It definitely has some areas that need some stain. So my suggestion would be, again, to remove lights, remove plate covers, remove numbers, mask the doors, and hit the building with Armstrong stain. Put a good amount of stain on it. I do suggest a semi-transparent or transparent stain. We don't want to go darker right off the bat. You have many years to stain this building to have it get dark, but you don't want to go there right away. So that's what I see. So what I'll do is I'll write it up and send it over, and you can kind of debate what you think might happen. See, the ends of these posts, I like to put a little bit of a sand on them, because if not, they go bad fast because of the fact that they're open to the elements. I could also see with Angels Camp sheet metal, they have been making me an actual metal plate that sits on top, like a cap, and just on the very top. And we could paint it into the trim color, and that saves you years and years. And you've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 9 of them that I can see. But if you want, I could give you their number. They do really good work, and they just make like a little metal cap, and the metal cap sits up there. We paint it into the trim color, or we make it a brown, much like that board right there, so that it doesn't catch the eye, but it keeps the water from sitting on top of those beams. And I've often referred them multiple times for houses, and people are extremely happy because it saves you a lot of time in the long run, instead of 10 years down the line having to cut off some of the wood rot. So beautiful home, great little neighborhood, and that is what I see. So I'll put this together this evening and we'll go from there. And thank you very much for the time, and we'll talk soon.